And Richard Goodall, the Terre Haute native and America's Got Talent Golden Buzzer winner, has captured the hearts of not only the judges and America, but now Walker Hayes.
What if everything you thought you knew about Richard Goodall was a lie? An FBI agent has just uncovered shocking secrets that turn everything upside down. People who thought they knew him, friends, family, even his closest confidants, are in disbelief. Behind that calm, steady exterior was a world of hidden connections and dark mysteries that no one ever suspected. Was Richard Goodall a master of deception, or was he just better at hiding his secrets than anyone realized? A voice beyond the hallways. In a small town where dreams often get lost, one man's voice refused to fade. Terre Haute, Indiana might not seem like the place where stars are born, but for Richard Goodall, it was the start of something incredible. Growing up in a modest home, he found a love for music that turned his old Radio Shack stereo into his escape. How far could a voice take him? Each song was a spark, a note of hope that drew him closer to a dream he could never shake, performing on a big stage, far from the quiet streets of his hometown. As Richard got older, life threw him its fair share of challenges. College wasn't in the cards, so he took a steady job to support himself and became a janitor at Chauncey Rose Middle School, just blocks from his childhood home. For over 20 years, he dedicated himself to keeping the school clean and safe. Could real happiness come from a job that wasn't his dream? Even so, Richard found a sense of pride in his work, becoming known for his strong work ethic and dependability. But was his story just beginning? His love for music never dimmed. Richard sang as he worked, his voice filling the school's empty hallways, and soon students and teachers couldn't help but notice. They affectionately called him the singing janitor, and his spontaneous performances became something everyone looked forward to. On Veterans Day, he performed "God Bless the USA," and his voice moved the entire room to tears, overflowing with pride and gratitude. It wasn't just a song, it was a connection that stayed with people. What makes a moment unforgettable? It's the way it reaches inside and resonates with something deeper. To the students, Richard wasn't just a janitor, he was Mr. Richard, a mentor, a friend, and a role model. Teachers admired his dedication, noticing how his music brought the school community closer together, creating a bond that went far beyond clean floors and classrooms. Through each song, Richard taught a powerful lesson, that joy can be found in the most unexpected places. With each note, Richard poured his heart into his work and his music, and as his voice echoed through the school, something amazing was about to happen. A video of one of his heartfelt performances went viral, spreading his voice far beyond the school walls. Little did Richard know, this unexpected moment would be the beginning of a journey into a world he had only dreamed of. The world was about to discover the singing janitor who never let go of his dream. The moment that changed everything. In the middle of an ordinary school day, something extraordinary was about to unfold. Richard Goodall, a quiet janitor with an immense love for music, was going about his usual routine at Chauncey Rose Middle School. He'd spent years cleaning classrooms and corridors, quietly working in the background. But today, something felt different. It was during a school assembly, with the whole student body buzzing, that Richard felt a pull. A nudge to take a leap he'd only dreamed of. Out of nowhere, he grabbed the mic and decided to sing "Don't Stop Believin'" by Journey. What kind of magic could a single song create? More than he ever imagined. As soon as Richard's voice filled the auditorium, the energy in the room shifted. It was as if he'd reached into people's hearts with each note. A teaching assistant, completely caught up in the moment, pulled out her phone and recorded his performance. She posted the video on TikTok without a second thought, simply wanting to share a special moment. But could a single video actually change a life? Within hours, the views were climbing faster than anyone expected. What began as a casual performance at a school event turned into an unstoppable viral sensation, racking up hundreds of thousands of views, then millions, as people all over the world tuned in to see the singing janitor. The internet went wild. People weren't just amazed by Richard's voice, they were moved by the emotion and raw passion he poured into every note. Comments flooded in from all over the globe, with people celebrating everything about him: his incredible voice, his infectious spirit, his courage. And then, to his absolute shock, Even Steve Perry, the legendary voice behind Journey himself, took notice, praising Richard's heartfelt rendition. It was surreal. In a flash, this quiet janitor's life had completely flipped, and his hidden talent was now being celebrated in ways he'd never dared to dream. Before long, Richard's story spread to local news outlets, captivating viewers everywhere and showcasing his incredible journey from humble janitor to viral star. His backstory, his humility, and his ability to inspire joy through music touched people in ways he could have never anticipated. With the video continuing to soar, invitations to perform at local events started pouring in, and it wasn't long before Richard found himself sharing his story and his music on national television. The world was beginning to take notice. Through every new opportunity, Richard didn't just show off his impressive voice. He shared his story, revealing a deeper message. It's never too late to chase your dreams, no matter where you start or what you've been through. What started as one viral moment was only the beginning for Richard. He was ready to take his passion for music beyond the school halls and into a new world of possibilities. People were just starting to see what a singing janitor with a dream could do. As Richard stepped into this new chapter, he couldn't help but think about how far he'd come. From scrubbing floors and emptying trash cans to standing in front of a cheering crowd, everything had changed. The janitor who had once been overlooked was now stepping into the spotlight. And with every performance, he wasn't just showcasing his remarkable talent. He was inspiring others to go after what they want, to believe in the power of their own dreams, no matter how small they might seem. This was his moment, his time to show the world the power of one simple, heartfelt song. And as he looked forward, he knew he was only getting started, from janitor to global superstar. When Richard stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent in May 2024, he had no idea how dramatically his life was about to change. The stage lights were blinding, the energy from the audience palpable, and the weight of the moment pressing against him. But Richard wasn't just here to sing, he was here to pour his heart out. Choosing Don't Stop Believin', he didn't just deliver a performance, he gave a piece of himself. Every note he sang carried the weight of his dreams, his years of hard work, and his unwavering determination. This wasn't just a song, it was his entire story unfolding right in front of millions. As the melody swept through the crowd, it was clear that this was no ordinary performance. It was a journey shared between Richard and everyone watching. The judges sat in stunned silence. Even Simon Cowell, known for his sharp critiques, couldn't hide his surprise and excitement. Then came the moment that would change everything for Richard. Heidi Klum hit the golden buzzer. The crowd erupted in deafening cheers, golden confetti swirling in the air, marking Richard's transformation from an unnoticed janitor to a contestant with a real shot at stardom. In that single moment, Richard went from being a nobody to a living testament to the idea that anything is possible if you follow your passion. As Richard moved forward to the live shows, the support from his hometown was overwhelming. Friends, family, and former students tuned in, creating an unshakable foundation of love that lifted him higher with each performance. The sense of community and encouragement was palpable, a reminder that, despite the bright lights and pressure, he was never alone. What did it feel like to have the unwavering belief of so many behind him? It was more than just a performance. It was a movement, a celebration of everything he had worked for. Each time he took the stage, he felt the weight of their love and hope pouring that back into his music. Even as the fame began to swirl around him, Richard never let it change who he was. He remained grounded, frequently reaching out to his friends and former colleagues at Chauncey Rose, thankful for their belief in him long before anyone knew his name. With every note, Richard sang not only for himself, but for everyone who had supported him along the way. His rise wasn't just about showcasing his singing talent. It was about showing the world that anyone, no matter their circumstances, could chase their dreams and achieve greatness. Richard Goodall became a symbol of possibility, proving that dreams aren't bound by background or station, they are fueled by passion and perseverance. His meteoric rise from janitor to singing sensation left a mark on his community. Richard's story was a living example that extraordinary things can come from the most unexpected places. It inspired others to believe that greatness can emerge from even the humblest of beginnings, just as a janitor's closet can hold the dreams of a future star. But the real power of Richard's story wasn't just in his talent, it was in the idea that anyone could do what he did, no matter where they started. As Richard's powerful performances gained traction on social media, they struck a chord with people everywhere. His journey was a powerful reminder. How often do we ignore the importance of pursuing our dreams? For Richard, it wasn't about fame, it was about following his heart and doing what he loved. His story became a beacon for anyone who felt stuck or trapped in their circumstances. He proved that with passion, hard work, and dedication, anything is possible. But Richard didn't do it alone. The love and support from his community played an essential role in his rise. Friends, family, students, everyone rallied around him, providing him with a foundation of belief and encouragement that proved crucial every step of the way. This unity showed a deeper truth. Success is never just about individual talent. It thrives in a community that believes in you, one that lifts you up and carries you toward your dreams. Richard became a living example of how the collective power of shared dreams and unwavering support can propel someone to unimaginable heights. Through his journey, Richard delivered a message of hope to all. No dream is too big, no circumstance too limiting if you dare to dream and put in the effort. His story is a reminder that, with determination and the courage to pursue what sets your soul on fire, anything is within reach. As Richard's fame grew, so did the attention, both positive and negative. With success came scrutiny, and soon the public began to dig deeper into his life. Behind the golden buzzer and heartfelt performances, a different side of Richard's journey began to emerge. The spotlight, while bright, also cast shadows, revealing cracks in the perfect image of stardom. But with fame often comes controversy, and Richard's rise to the top was no exception. The wild rumors and controversies. Richard Goodall's journey from small-town janitor to America's Got Talent winner is a story that's both inspiring and controversial. But here's the thing. While some cheered for his rags to riches tale, others questioned whether he deserved the crown. It's a story that sparked plenty of debate, and Goodall himself became a figure caught in the crossfire. How did a man who once scrubbed floors at a middle school in Terre Haute, Indiana, suddenly become the face of a nationwide TV competition? Was it all talent? Or was there more to the story? Goodall's rise to fame wasn't as smooth as some would like to believe. The path he took to the spotlight was filled with rumblings of doubt and scrutiny, and here's why. The first wave of controversy hit when viewers started questioning the nature of Goodall's talent. Known for his covers of classic rock hits like Journey's Don't Stop Believin', he quickly became a target for critics who argued that his performances were more about nostalgia than originality. To some, Goodall's shows felt like nothing more than elevated karaoke, which, let's face it, isn't always the most exciting thing to watch. So when the runner-up Ronnie Sagi and Rhythm, a duo that wowed audiences with dancing dogs, was seen as more innovative, the debate intensified. Was Goodall's classic rock sound enough to claim the top prize? Or had America's Got Talent become predictable by favoring singers again? It turns out the show's track record with singers wasn't doing Goodall any favors. With his win marking the 8th time in America's Got Talent's 19 seasons that a singer had claimed victory, fans were starting to wonder if the show needed to rethink its idea of what true talent looks like. The criticism didn't stop there. Goodall's rise to fame was unique in that he didn't have a massive social media following before appearing on America's Got Talent. On one hand, this made his victory feel more authentic. It was refreshing to see someone make it purely on their talent without the help of influencers or viral fame. But this story was a double-edged sword. While it was heartwarming to watch an underdog succeed, it also left some viewers wondering whether Goodall's talent could truly compete in a world where online fame often reigns supreme. Was his performance really standing out in a competition full of social media stars? Or was his rise more about the feel-good narrative than actual originality? Then, of course, came the backlash about the nature of his performances. Fans of the show, especially those who appreciated more creative or unusual acts, were frustrated that singers, once again, had taken center stage. To them, America's Got Talent was supposed to be about discovering fresh and daring talent, not just showcasing polished renditions of well-known songs. For them, Goodall's choices, though heartfelt, seemed like a safe, familiar choice. But for Goodall, this might have been part of the strategy to connect with the audience emotionally. After all, who doesn't get nostalgic when they hear "Don't Stop Believin'"? But here's the catch. For many, this emotional connection wasn't enough to make up for the lack of innovation. In a competition that prides itself on discovering new talent, was Goodall really offering something fresh? Or was he just giving us more of the same? The controversy didn't just stop with the music. Goodall's backstory became a lightning rod for criticism. His transformation from a janitor into a nationwide sensation made for a great underdog narrative, until people started questioning how much of it was real. Was his story of struggling in a small town and rising through sheer grit exaggerated? Speculation began to swirl that the producers had perhaps crafted this humble image to make his success seem even more remarkable. But here's where it gets murkier. While Goodall's backstory struck a chord with many, it also raised doubts about how much of it was truly authentic. Was he really the hardworking janitor he appeared to be? Or was the narrative carefully tailored for maximum emotional impact? And just when you thought things couldn't get any more complicated, rumors began to spread that Goodall might be under investigation by the FBI. While no official statements confirmed this, the idea that there could be more to his rise than meets the eye only added to the swirling cloud of suspicion. In a world where reality stars often find themselves under intense scrutiny, Goodall's rapid success seemed ripe for speculation. Was his rise just the result of raw talent? Or was there something deeper at play? These whispers, whether true or not, only fueled the fire of public debate, leaving viewers wondering whether there was more behind the scenes than they'd been told. Through all of this, Goodall remained largely unfazed, staying focused on his craft. He stood firm, claiming that his success was a result of hard work and determination, and that he wasn't just a product of a manufactured story. His supporters rallied behind him, seeing his victory as a triumph of merit over fame. For them, Goodall represented everything America's Got Talent was supposed to be about: an unknown talent who had a shot at success based purely on what he could do, not who he knew. At the end of the day, Richard Goodall's story isn't just about winning America's Got Talent. It's about the conversations surrounding talent competitions in the age of social media. Goodall's victory has sparked a larger debate about what it means to be talented in today's world. Is it about raw skill, or does it require more than that to stand out in a crowd of influencers? For better or worse, Goodall's rise to fame will forever be tied to these questions. His journey is a reminder that sometimes the line between genuine talent and manufactured success is harder to draw than we might think. Whether his critics will ever fully accept him is uncertain, but one thing is clear. Richard Goodall's name will always be part of the conversation about what makes a true talent in the modern world. So what do you think about all of these wild theories about Richard Goodall? Do you believe that they could be true? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you found the video interesting, hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more thrilling stories. Thanks for watching.